For me, when I had second kid, it was a complete nightmare in a way because I started to get so nervous. I wanted to be there for kids, but there's so many emotional conflicts and so much trouble, like tired, sleepiness, and then I had this really like sleep problems. I couldn't like sleep properly. Sometimes I only wanted to sleep because of being too tired, and that you also can't do because there's a small child, right? Two of them. Or the other thing which happened later to me was I wake up at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. and I only sleep like 4 or 5 hours at night. And to me, it isn't problem, but it's problem later because you don't have energy at the next day anymore to deal with the children, right? So everybody wants your support, and you are just down on the bed and can't help because you are absolutely tired because of no sleep, right? So this sleep problems was, I think, the most difficult ones to overcome. The depression or the sadness, you know what it is. The feelings, I feel upset because of something. I didn't like that. Like, you know, like, yeah, deep sadness. I have experienced this before. I kind of know what it is. But this sleep disorders, I don't know what that is. Right? I have never had it. So, but in a way, it's a little bit easier because if you can't control it at all, like I was constantly blamed, like, hey, don't wake up, like, come back to sleep, right? So sleep, but you can't sleep, right? So you can't absolutely control it at all, right? So in a way, it's easier because you can't do anything about it, right? But then I still went to psychiatrist and I asked this sleeping pills, right? And this helped because if I feel it's really critical, it's like people are so upset and I need to be with children the next day. If I take the sleeping pill, I have slept now 8 hours. So now there's a little bit better chance for me to be there for the children. Yeah, but luckily this hasn't also been problem anymore. Also the kids have grown bigger. So one clairvoyant told us that I am having afterbirth depression, right, with the second son, and I think when I look back, it's so connected, like this small kid and this sleeping disorders, right? Who hasn't had it? Like all parents, I think, have had it to some degree, like especially with a baby, right? So you can't have normal sleeping schedule anymore, like, because the baby needs to be fed and is screaming sometimes and wakes you up, and so but it's absolute hell and complete nightmare if you're in there, especially if they are like 3 and 5, the kids or something, because then they need the most attention, right? Yeah, and other people are busy. Other people are busy making money or arguing with each other or having conflicts, and so somebody needs to take care of the kids, and you're also like super tired or in conflicts or stuff. So it really hits the sleeping disorder, right? Now you also don't do it now, the childcare. So it's nightmare for others also now. So you don't do childcare because of sleeping disorder, right? So it's the worst possible scenario, right? Worst nightmare. Yeah. So when I compare that to my current life, completely happy. Like I've learned to not want that much. I had this eyes problem. Like I have eyes problem months already. Like I caught this something into my eye, and I got very angry. And now I bought this eye liquid from the store, right, where they sell this pharmacy. Right, I bought this eye liquid and I use it for like 3 weeks or 2 weeks. But it was like I also I have had that problem also. So if you put this liquid it helps, but if you don't, it sometimes it's like the eyes are very, very sensitive, so I don't know, maybe sunglasses or something I should use. So that's it. But it's a really small problem. And the other thing is toothache. Like, there was this horrible scenario when they force everybody to go to my parents' place, right? But I suddenly have this toothache, right? And for them it's nightmare if I'm not there doing childcare, right? But how can I do this childcare in a place where there's a lot of conflicts and I'm having this toothache, right? And I've had like these sleeping problems there before. So how can I go there like being able to help that situation, like doing childcare in my parents' place where there are a lot of conflict, right? So how can I do that with toothache, right? It's impossible, right? So because the childcare person needs to be happy, right? If the childcare person isn't happy, it's ruined for them the experience, right? So very quickly we still could go find a doctor, and a miracle happened or something. They just do the X-ray and look at it. It's all well, your teeth. We can't find anything, right? But then it disappeared. Right? So they said you need this surgery. It needs to be removed. The last tooth that's in the most back. It needs to be removed, right? We need to do this surgery someday. But the pain just stopped like a miracle. So I could go to the parent place and help them, and they got through this catastrophe that is happening more easily, right? So for me, the worst thing is still this demand for childcare, right? But I have learned that I need to do the childcare, because if I don't, the catastrophe gets worse, right, for them. So, but it's insane how much they ask for childcare, right? So it's absolutely insane. But if I don't do that, the catastrophe gets worse, right, for them. So I just get up and do it as much as I can, and I'm used to that, right? So yeah, but collapse has almost happened because there's only one person left to do the childcare, because all they want is childcare, and there's only one person who can do that, me. And if that person has some sickness or something, it's like full-on catastrophe, right? Yeah. So that's like the worst scenarios, worst things. And I can't get out from the childcare hellhole, right? I need to do this pretty much 24/7, right? There needs to be someone doing that 24/7. So I understand it's complete hell for the other people, because there isn't anybody doing the childcare, right? And if something happens to me, like it hasn't happened for many months, then it's like everything collapses, right? And this isn't a very good solution. If you have been programmer, you don't want so much dependencies, right? You put everything on one card, like, and if this card isn't ace, then you are lost and everything collapses, right? So it isn't very smart to put everything to one person, but they don't have any other people who would be responsible, right? Everybody else is busy arguing, conflicts. So that's the biggest hell, right? That's the biggest hellhole, right? And also I'm also not enough, right? Because I'm one person and I have my own opinions about these people, right? So it isn't the best choice for them also. But without it, it would be even worse, right? So you know, if you have been parent, you know this feeling that it's really bad if you are irreplaceable. It's a really bad thing, but it is happening. Right? You're absolutely irreplaceable. You need to be there, or their worlds collapse. Right? But it's a bad thing because it isn't normal. Right? so, but still, even doing this irreplaceable work, childcare in the middle of Dark Nightmare, I still pulled off this gaming victories and stuff. I have never played so high in gaming than I did last year. I never won so much money with so little hours. So yeah, it's amazing if you still pull your victories, even in that space, right? And take care of the children and try to help everybody, right? So don't go into so much conflict with each other, but they will. It can't be stopped, right? They just will, right? It's like if they had weapons, they would like use them or something. I don't know.